Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Record Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Alright. So this is an article I ran into, about cashless payments, alright, dominating into 2026. Alright, as we know, the implantable device, RFID microchip, alright, is the M.O.T.B mentioned in Revelation 13. Alright, and you see, we're getting closer and closer to this being implemented, being made mandatory. Alright, why cashless payment systems continue dominating into 2026. Alright, it says the global RFID market reached 15.49 billion in 2024 and is projected to grow at 11.9% annually through 2032, with the entertainment sector showing particularly aggressive adoption. From multi-day music festivals to single-night concerts, cashless payment solutions have become the expected standard rather than a novelty. Attendees no longer want to fumble with wallets or stand in endless lines. They expect a tap-and-go experience that keeps them immersed in the moment. All right. So once again, they're selling you on the convenience of it. All right. Not having to fumble with a wallet. All right. Payments being much quicker, as they mentioned, not standing in lines. All right. This is how he's, selling it. All right. The convenience of it as far as the cashless payments. The way that the brain chip is being sold is, the medical advancements. All right. Being able to heal, paraplegics, quadriplegics, blind people. Parkinson's was another big one. All right. This is how they're selling it. All right. As either a medical miracle with the brain chip or the convenience of cashless payments with the RFID chip. All right. That will be pushed on the people. All right. The scriptures say, you won't be able to buy or sell with it. Well, as I continue in the article, you see that they're selling it to the companies, man. All right. This is how you're going to make more money. Make money quicker, make the consumer experience, better or faster by using these cashless payments. All right. Says cashless payment using RFID has emerged as the dominant solution for live events because it addresses fundamental problems that have plagued traditional payment methods for decades. Speed, security, and data intelligence combine to create an experience that benefits everyone involved. Attendees enjoy faster service, vendors process more transactions, and operators gain unprecedented visibility into their business. The technology has matured considerably, and the financial case for the implementation has never been stronger. All right. Vendors process more transactions. So this is how it's being sold to the companies. You're going to be able to make more money with this, cashless device, man. This implantable device. All right. People are going to swipe more and more because it's quicker and more convenient. Just like from cash to the credit card. If you have a pocket full of cash, you may be less likely to splurge because you see the cash dwindling away in your pocket. But, as we know, people spend more money with the cards because they're just swiping and swiping. As I'm sure we've all, spent more money than expected just swiping a card. You know what I mean? So the next level to this is going to be these people just swiping their hand, and it's a way to make more money as it's being sold to the companies. All right, these people are gonna spend more and more. All right. It says what is driving the surge in cashless payment using RFID. The shift towards RFID enabled payment systems accelerated dramatically over the past several years, driven by a combination of changing consumer expectations and operational realities that event organizers can no longer ignore. Attendees have grown accustomed to contactless experience in their daily lives, and they expect the same convenience when they walk through festival gates. The numbers underscore this transformation. Globally, 85% of point-of-sale transactions were cashless in 2024, with the United States leading at 86.9%. This represents a fundamental shift in consumer behavior that extends directly into live entertainment. When the guests tap their phones at coffee shops every morning, they arrive at your event expecting identical convenience. All right, they're selling the convenience of it. All right, this is how they're going to get a lot of people, before it's even made mandatory. All right, there will be, before the RFID chip is made mandatory, it's going to be a lot of people that already got it. All right, speed and efficiency. Traditional payment methods create bottlenecks that frustrate attendees and cost vendors significant revenue. Cash transactions require counting, making change, and handling physical currency under pressure. Credit card payments involve chip insertions, PIN entries, and network delays that compound when thousands of people compete for drinks between seats. So this is how they're trying to do away with the cash and the credit card. All right, you won't have to count and give people change when you're dealing with the implantable device. All right, you won't have to do the chip insertions, PIN entries. Okay, people will just simply be able to swipe their hand. It says the RFID event system processes transactions in a fraction of that time. A quick tap of a wristband completes the purchase, and the attendee moves on. This efficiency compounds across an event with thousands of transactions. Shorter lines mean more sales per hour, which translate directly into higher revenue for vendors and better experiences for guests. Operators who previously lost sales to impatient customers walking away from long queues now capture that demand. All right, and they're speaking of a wristband, but the M.O.T.B is going to be implanted within the hand, man. All right, excuse me, and this is the convenience that the people are being sold on, man. All right, and they're speaking directly to the vendors or the companies. All right, you will be able to make more money if you transition into payments, cashless payments, man. All right. Eliminating cash handling headaches. Cash creates operational complexity that many event organizers underestimate until they experience a better alternative. Staff must be trained to handle money accurately under chaotic conditions. Secure cash rooms need to be established, monitored, and staffed throughout the event. End of night reconciliation becomes a multi-hour process prone to errors and discrepancies that can take days to resolve. All right, so more and more they're speaking on the convenience of it, man. all the steps and all the processes that will be eliminated if you simply, have the RFID chip, man, as your payment method. All right. RFID, excuse me, RFID tech for events eliminates these pain points entirely. With no cash changing hands, operators reduce the risk of theft, accounting errors, and employee disputes over missing funds. Staff spends less time counting drawers and more time serving customers. The settlement process becomes straightforward because every transaction is logged digitally with precise timestamps, location, and item level detail. Now this is the big one. The RFID event system boosting revenue. It says revenue growth is the metric that ultimately drives adoption decisions, and RFID systems to deliver consistently strong results across diverse event types and scales. The combination of faster transactions and frictionless spending creates conditions where attendees naturally purchase more without being pressured. All right. And this is what these companies want to do, of course, make more money. So, as it says in Revelation 13, you won't be able to buy or sell. Right? The people have to transition to having this device, and the companies have to transition in creating or adopting the systems for the people to use this device to purchase their product. And these companies, being money hungry as they are not gonna want to be left behind. All right. So now you have higher per transaction spending. All right. And as you see, this is all just to get people to spend more money or to convince these companies that switching over to this payment system is going to make you more money. All right. Multiple analyses have documented that spending lift associated with cashless systems at events. When payment becomes effortless, attendees tend to make more impulse purchases throughout the day. The psychological barrier of handing over physical cash disappears. Loading funds onto a wristband in advance also creates a mental shift where that money becomes event money that guests are more willing to spend freely. Because once again, you don't see the cash dwindling. All right. You just spend and spend, man. The impact shows most clearly at food and beverage locations. An attendee who might have skipped a second round because the line looked too long will happily tap their wristband when service moves quickly. Merchandise vendors see similar benefits when the transactions take seconds instead of minutes. These small increases compound across thousands of attendees to produce meaningful revenue gains. So, it's just about making more money, man. All right, these companies are being convinced that when these people, as they're referring to it as a wristband right now, all right, but we know that eventually it's going to be start to be implanted within the skin. All right, they're just being convinced that they're going to make more money, and this is how you know it's not, an embargo or just amongst the companies. Because why would these companies switch over to this payment system if the consumer wasn't switching over to it as well? That don't make no sense. That defeats the buyer and seller relationship. All right, but real-time data for smarter decisions. One of the most powerful advantages of cashless and contactless POS systems is the data that they generate in real time. Traditional cash-based events operate largely in the dark until the final count happens, hours or days after the gates close. RFID systems provide immediate visibility that enables operators to make informed decisions while the event is still happening. If a particular vendor is seeing heavy traffic while another sits idle, operators can redistribute staff or adjust signage accordingly. If a menu item is selling faster than projected, restocking happens before supplies run out. This responsiveness improves the attendee experience and maximizes revenue capture across every opportunity. The data also proves invaluable for future event planning, revealing which vendors, products, and locations perform best. Convenience. All right. What are the top benefits of RFID tech for events? It says the advantages of implementing RFID payment systems extend across multiple dimensions of event operations. Here are the primary benefits driving RFID cashless adoption among forward-thinking organizers. Dramatically faster transactions, all right, meaning they're gonna make more money. Increase per capita spending, comprehensive data analytics, enhanced security, simplified reconciliation, improved attendee experience. All right, so everything that's just gonna make more money. This is how the technology is being sold to the companies. If you tell any business that they're gonna make more money, they usually gonna jump at it, man. All right. Why is RFID cashless adoption accelerating in 2026? The trajectory of RFID cashless adoption shows no signs of slowing. Several converging factors are pushing more events towards RFID implementation while making holdouts increasingly conspicuous to attendees who have experienced better alternatives elsewhere. It says that the expansion of contactless payment options in retail, transit, and hospitality have fundamentally changed what consumers expect from payment experiences. Attendees who tap to pay for morning coffee in and evening grocery run expect the same experience at weekend festivals. Events that require cash or traditionally card processing feel dated by comparison. Younger demographics, and particularly, view cashless payment using RFID as a baseline functionality rather than an upgrade. Festival producers and revenue operators competing for this audience recognize that payment experience is part of the overall brand expression. Clunky checkout processes undermine the seamless premium atmosphere that the modern events aim to create. When competitors offer tap and go convenience, counting with cash handling becomes a competitive disadvantage. So they're telling the companies that using cash is a disadvantage as far as, making money or stacking up against your competitors. If you're still using cash and credit cards, you have slower lines, more things that make the process more difficult for the consumer. Whereas if you use this RFID technology, they basically in and out. People spending money. All right. So, once again, this is them selling the RFID microchip or the payment system thereof to the companies, all right, which is going to put them in a position to make more money. All right. And once again, it's how you know it's not, an embargo or a damn, just amongst the companies. Because why would the company switch to a whole new payment system that the consumer wasn't using? That's crazy. All right. But I ain't gonna hold you. I hope that video was edifying. Shalom.